Greetings, family. This is Verona from Ancestral Voices coming live for another show. Apologies for the delay. Aunty J is having problems accessing the studio. It seems as though there's connection problems with the internet. So we are hopefully going to get her on shortly. But I just decided to go live. Otherwise, we would lose our Facebook connection. And I don't want to disappoint our Facebook viewers. So it's been a while. I haven't been on for ages, but there will be other interviews coming up. I've just been chilling out, taking a break. With all these changes within social media recently, it just feels like doing a lot of work and effort for little in return in terms of shutting down visibility. Anyone who's on any of social platforms will know what I'm talking about. So with that said, please like, comment, subscribe, share, do what you can do to help the algorithms, to help give programs like this a boost, because we're doing all this amazing content, but then a lot of people generally don't know it exists. So I'm really looking forward to getting in today's conversation. Definitely when it comes to menopause and hormonal changes within women is something that I've never really heard about from a spiritual perspective. So I really look forward to having a conversation with Aunty J about this. I did have a brief chat with her on the phone before, just kind of discussing the concept for the show, and I was like, wow, please don't tell me anymore. Let's just save it for the interview. So we look forward to getting into it today. So give thanks to everyone who's currently signed in. We've had some amazing guests here from early, so I apologize for the delay. So give thanks to everybody. Nice, Kyra Bar. Well done for joining us. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to put through meanwhile while I'm here? Might as well pick my brains and we can just start our own dialogue before Aunty J joins the studio. Shout out to Amani Nasor. I love this comment from you. It says, Ham Jambo Jama, which means greetings, kindred. Looking forward to the wisdom as a brother to have a greater understanding. And I think this comment is absolutely beautiful because it just goes to show that this is definitely something that men should want to know about. If your partner is going through all these significant changes, all these hormonal changes that are ultimately still going to impact you, is very beneficial for you to know about. So we respect that. We love it. We can imagine how many relationships can have a bit more of a harmonious connection if we are aware of these type of things. So give thanks. So Aunty J says she was relocating inside her house because she tried the internet connection outside. It wasn't really working. So what else can I say? So there's another interview coming up on Wednesday. On Wednesday, you'll have Dalian here. He's going to be doing the next installment of the Vodou Q&A. And we have the illustrious panel again with Queen Mother Dorothy Dezia, Professor Baina Bello, and we are also going to be joined by, sorry for the delay, I'm just checking online to see if Aunty J has got back to us. No. And we're going to be joined by Dr. Baba Wade Nobles, who will be our special guest as well. So it's going to be a phenomenal lineup. Please tune into that. That's going to be on Wednesday. So let me just see. No, still no Aunty J. So I'm so sorry, guys. Margaret Reed says, just looking forward to learning how to celebrate such a spiritual change that's being manifested in the human female. And I agree. There's so many changes that we all go through, not just as women, men too. We all have our own cycles of life. And, with women, we have obviously from birth, then we have when we start our menstrual cycle, and then we go through all these other changes. If we go through, say, pregnancy, for example, and the changes that come with that. And then we have things like, hold on, I believe Aunty J is joining us. Let's see. Hey, Aunty J, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yay! Greetings, well done. We did it. Yes. Great. So I see you've had to relocate in the house.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you, but not properly. You're sort of breaking up. You sound like a robot. Do I
Oh,
sound clear?
you do actually, you do. So hopefully we can actually have a good conversation today without it being too distorted.
Yeah, no,
No, it's going to be one of those days again. All right, so Auntie J, what I wanted to do before we get into it, if you can, man, family, it's going to be one of those shows again. Every single time we speak to Auntie J, we have this drama with the technical issues, and she is based in the Gambia. Shouldn't really be this dramatic, unfortunately, but every single time we're about to get into some juicy dialogue, this happens. So please bear with us. I do apologize for the delay. It's just, technical issues. This happens. We're going to do what we need to do to keep going. So Kara says, thank you for sharing these informative topics. Thank you for joining us. Grand Rising, V and all. Thank you, Desiree. Greetings, Auntie J. Yeah, hopefully we can get Auntie J to come back because I just can't believe this is happening again. All right, so D. Avoni says, greetings from East London. So great to catch a live chat. Didn't even know you had live chats, so I'm grateful to be on today. So you're more than welcome. Yes, we do have live chats. We tend to do them at least once a month, but to be fair, it's been a while since I've been here. Dalian has been doing some of the interviews as well, and he has a separate platform where he's promoting his Vodou documentary, where he speaks with the cast and different members relating to the topic of Vodou. For myself, this Ancestral Voices Live is a combination of myself and Dalian, usually myself, where we have various different guests speaking from a range of different spiritual traditions, and also just covering a range of topics. So well done for joining us live. Auntie J is back again. Can you
I can
hear
hear
me?
you better now. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so before I get into full introductions, Auntie J, I beg you, please, let's do a prayer so we can open up this space properly and ward off all them little spiritual technical entities that are trying to lock us down.
You're breaking up again. You're breaking up.
No. Can you hear me? She's frozen again. Oh my goodness, it's going to be one of those days. Greetings, Jafunza. I remember your name. Auntie J mentioned you. Greetings, family. I'm grateful to join the live chat. This is a great topic. And I understand you have a great understanding on this topic as well, including herbal medicines people can take to alleviate some of the symptoms. So please feel free to share your knowledge and wisdom with us. We'd be really grateful to get deeper into this conversation. And please make Auntie J come back. All right, what I might do is take her out of the studio so she can rejoin. Oh, she's already done it, so that's fine. Marcia says, don't worry, big sis, Auntie J. We asked for clearing call from the north, south, east, and west. Ashe, give thanks, Marcia. Indeed, indeed. Send that positive energy to come clear away all of this. Anyone who has been following Ancestral Live and our shows, when we've had Auntie J on in the past, particularly when we've got into some nitty gritty subjects, suddenly it's like all the internet energies come out and try to shut down the conversation. But we always find what is meant to be said gets a chance to be said, and we do walk away with the necessary wisdom that we need that can help inspire and liberate us. So we're very persistent around here. If anyone knows Ancestral Voices, we've been going for 12 years, just holding the fort, waving the banner in the air, speaking up about this subject. being very unapologetic for our African heritage, our ancestry, our spirituality. And no matter what obstacles you may face, we're just going to keep going, because that's kind of that rebellion spirit that lives inside of us. So whatever technical hitches may be happening right now, stay with it. It's temporary, and we will get on with the show. So greetings, Margaret. Welcome. Sending love to you in Canada. Alison Joseph Patrick says, it is most understandable wherever we are speaking on spirituality, negative energies always try to bore through. Indeed, as I mentioned, this has happened to us so many times before. I think the most prominent time this happened to us is when we had our interview titled The Negative Use of Spirituality. And Aunty J literally just brought the fire that entire show. And even though there were so many forces trying to knock down her conversation, she really spoke on it. She really spoke on how African spirituality is presented as negative and, evil thing. And we always focus on the negative that happens within the traditions, but we don't really speak about on a wider perspective when we see a lot of these things and major rituals that are happening in our external realities from, I guess, what you would call the dominant society. We're not acknowledging the spiritual stuff that they're doing and the spiritual warfare that's played out on us every single day. So that conversation went deep. It's still up on YouTube, interestingly enough. So please do go check out some of these old conversations as well if you are new to Ancestral Voices Live. Okay, so can she face the light instead of being at the back? Indeed, I will get her to do that when she rejoins the studio. Originally, when she tried to join the call, she was outside, but then she found that the internet connection was quite weak. So obviously that would be the best place. But obviously when she does return, I will tell her if she can have the light facing towards her. That would definitely be a much better visual. So thank you for that. Okay, so Margaret Reed is saying, Jafunza, yes, please do share. Indeed, if you are here as well, I can even send you the studio link to join the conversation as well, because we need this wisdom. This is very powerful. So what I'll do is I'll put that in the chat actually. So Jafunza, if you are still tuned in and you would like to join the conversation until Aunty J returns, I would love to invite you in. So I've put the studio link in the chat, and I'd love to hear from you, because Aunty J did recommend that you have a lot of wisdom when it comes to this topic. Yay! She's happy to share. So give thanks. The way spirit works is this is what Aunty J asked for in the beginning. So the way spirit works, she's now been unable to speak. Here we go. So let's see. So please do join the studio whenever you're ready. Indeed, we're all just waiting for the information. I must say, when it comes to this topic, I am completely like, I know nothing. All I do know is what I will say for me personally, just since pregnancy, I feel like my intuition has got stronger. And anybody who's seen my signs and symbols video, I speak about that. One of the things that I did experience was memory loss that happened quite intensely. That, I mean, to be honest, I'm a bit better now, but I'm a lot more, I guess you would say, flightier than I was before. But on the back of losing my memory, I found my intuition became a lot stronger. So it's almost like you lose something to make space for something else. So I'd be very curious if anyone else in the audience has experienced anything similar. But for me, it felt like almost, I would say, a part of my sort of logical brain, so to speak, went to make way for more that intuitive, uh, emotional understanding of the world. So let me know if anyone else has experienced that. And in terms of the whole menopause situation, I guess I'd be considered in premenopause stage now. And I'm not sure how that's impacted me yet. So I look forward to speaking with either Jafunza or Aunty J to get more insight into that. Okay, so Kukua says, peace family, give thanks to Ancestral Voices for your diligence and commitment. Every time I catch a presentations, it's a full blessing. Give thanks. Thank you so much. So thank you. So Jafunza, I've put a link into the chat. Have you seen it? If so, please click on it and I'll be able to let you access the studio. And Money Nassau says everything happens as it should be, Ashe. Indeed, indeed it does. So I'm just kind of rolling with the punches. Ah, hold on, why am I getting a call? All right, so okay, great. So Cynthia's saying, I've had memory issues. I thought I was having a stroke. So comforting to hear that I'm not alone. Okay, so I'm glad also it's not just me too. So just curious to know how many women out there, because they talk about baby brain and stuff anyway, but I'm talking about when significant have time has passed, your children are now considered a reasonably grown age, they're not babies anymore, but you found that you're never fully the same. I'm quite curious about that, and if anyone does have any herbal remedies for that as well, I'd be very curious to know that too. Angelica Revere says, after giving birth in 2019, I suffered 4 seizures and I did lose my memory. But what I gained back is something more way powerful. There you go. You see? So something else does develop out of that. So give thanks. Auntie J has now returned.
I've
Can you
been
hear
moving
me?
around my house like a nutter, trying to get signal properly.
Welcome. Welcome. Thank you. And someone said as well that you should aim the light on your face and now we can see you as well. As I said, I'm not going to say anything else. Please do your prayers to open up this space properly, please, and then we can get into it.
Okay, everybody, breathe. I call on the energies of the feminine. I call on all the ancestors, male, female, young, old, ancient, and those from other galaxies, dimensions, to come forward. Join us all together today. Give me your mouth so that I can speak to our people, your people, we as one people today on a subject that you have brought to my attention, and I am bringing it out now. It is now being talked about in many corners, something that has been a bit of a taboo, something that we need to know as women in this time, something that we need to understand together as one feminine energy, something the male energy needs to understand so that our families do not get divided as they have been doing. Give me your mouth. Let me speak as the ancestors speak on this subject, menopause, a flowing energy that is a rite of passage that we have forgotten. Give me the memory from your memory to bring forward, to put into our memory. Let us gather together as one heart. Let us open our understanding. I'm not going to talk about the mind. I'm not going to ask you to open your minds. I'm going to ask you to open your heart. Because this transition is a transition basically coming from emotion, because the transition is that one of spirit. Let the ancestors speak through my mouth. Ashe and Ajay. Let it
Ashe.
begin.
Wow. Thank you so much. I feel calm, actually. I feel very calm. So, welcome, Auntie J. Anyone who's been following our work, Auntie J appeared in our very first documentary, Esoteric African Knowledge. I have known her now for, I don't even know, like 15 years or something. I generally don't know. It's just been a long time. And what can I say? She is an intuitive healer, a spiritual counselor, herbalist. What else? You do a whole range of things. What else do you do?
I
Auntie to
just
the
work with
max.
spirit. I just work with spirit. Whatever comes to me, I ask spirit if we can do it, handle it, deal with it together. If they say yeah, I leave it to them. They work through me. So in order, I can't give you a title. Spirit doesn't have boundaries. Um, and I work with spirit, and they don't give me boundaries. I would say I'm a healer for people that want to put me in a box. I could say I'm a mystic, and I can go in that box too. I can do, massage, healing with hands. I can go in that box too. But if we break down all those lines between those boxes, I work with spirit. That's what I do.
No worries, no worries. I've also connected with Jafunza, who's joined us in the chat. I know that you recommended
Ah,
her. So she said she's on standby to share information, and her connection also dipped when I asked her if she wanted to join before you came on. So she obviously made space for you, but we've also made space to introduce her to the audience and this conversation. So much love and give thanks as well.
just to add to that, Jafunza is a naturopath. Um, she's also related to me, but she is a naturopath. She too is on her journey. So anything that I might miss out for any questions that might come up now, later, whenever, um, she's there on hand. And anybody else that's out there that might have information, come forward. This is about us. And a lot of the work, that the way my work is turning, I'm beginning to join people together at the moment. I've got loads of groups out there of, especially of women. um, we're coming together and we're just bonding and sharing and growing. And so I want this to be a continuum of that. It is about me talking about the menopause, but it is also about you sharing your experiences so that others get an understanding, both those that have it to come, yes, those that are starting to go through it, those that are at the
No. This is gonna be one of them shows. No. All right, we're just gonna keep going. I apologize to the audience in advance. You know, what can we do? It's technical issues. It is what it is. But I am really grateful for some of the comments coming through. So T Lee says Gotu Cola is good for the memory issue. So give thanks for that tip. I do really appreciate that. So just for anyone who's not aware, that's what that's in relation to. Before Auntie J joined the studio, I spoke about experiencing prolonged memory loss issues after childbirth. But on the back of the memory loss, realizing that my intuition had significantly increased. So this was just a suggestion, a herbal suggestion, a natural solution for memory loss issues. Auntie J, welcome back.
let me just let you guys know, please bear with me. Our rains here have started early. The rain started last month. So this could be part of the problem to do with the connection. Bear with us. Yeah, please, over here. It's not as bad as it's going to get, but we might have one or two problems. So just bear with us. I will try my utmost and juggle here and juggle there and change networks and all sorts of things to try and get back. So just bear with us, please.
We will give thanks.
Do you have any questions?
Well, I think the first thing, everybody is just generally wanting to understand what is this menopause thing and how does it impact us on a spiritual level. So let's just get straight in.
Okay. The menopause. Okay, let me take it. Okay. The menopause as a rite of passage. And please, this is a discussion. This is not an interview. You are not interviewing me about the menopause. This is a discussion. Do you understand? I'm at the postmenopausal stage, and I'll explain to you how I know this. Okay. And I'm also got book is to do with Ifa. It's called Rites of Passage. And I'm going to give you bits out of that book too. Sorry, I saw you strain your eyes there.
I can see it
Okay.
now. I can't see the
But
author.
it's not available anymore. I've had it for centuries because I gave it in one of my Zoom meetings and the women were looking for it and they can't find it. It's out of print. Okay. um, anyway, what is menopause? Menopause is a part of one of the phases of the life cycle, right? Birth, the first, yeah? And that's why birth, you get your naming ceremony, you get named. I'm taking it from an African perspective and then I'll bring it back to where we are. You get your naming ceremony, you get your name. So you do your 40 days with your family and all the rest of it. And then you get your naming ceremony, you get named, you get brought to the community, you get brought to your people, and that baby gets handed around so that it gets welcomed by its village, tribe, whatever, naming ceremony. You go through puberty, right? Next one. You go through puberty, and that's what people call initiation. Another rite of passage. You go through initiation. Girls go with the girls, girls, elder women, boys go with the elder men, and they get taught about the next phase of their life that they're going through. Okay, what's to be expected of them, what's going to happen. You know, they explain about the fact that they're now going to become parents, they're now going to have children, they're now going to get married, and they explain all these things in depth, and they go away and they go through certain rituals, and they go through certain rites, they eat certain, they have certain herbs, it's a big old thing because it can last months for some, it can last weeks for some, it can last years for some, but they go away and then they come back, they get welcomed in their village as a new person or within the next phase of their life. It is a transition, right? And these are transitions that we naturally go through. But because we're not in our natural environment anymore, we are still going through these transitions, whether we like it or not. Spirit is still moving through us, but we're not getting the guidance, we're not getting the understanding, we're not getting all of that. So then puberty, you go through your life, yeah, and you reach premenopause, which should start about 45, but because we're in the West and our diet and all the rest, could start at about 35. If you have things like gynecological problems, hysterectomies, radiation therapy, it could start earlier. But it's another rites of passage that you go through where, yet again, if we was in our environment, we would go away, women would go away with women that are premenopausal, menopausal, and postmenopausal. The elders are very much important in that. And you would go away with a group of women that are going through that cycle at that time. And you would go away, they say, people are going to get shocked. They say you should go away for 2 to 3 years. Yes? And in that time, it gives you the time to go through, because this is the time of your life where. Can you hear me? All right, we're back. That is the time. Can you hear me?
I can. I tried to not have an expression. I was like,
V,
this thing best not cut out. I can hear
V,
you.
you're not moving. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, keep talking.
You're moving very slow.
Keep talking.
Can you hear me, V?
Yes.
You're looking, but you're not responding. Can
Oh,
everybody hear me?
yes.
Hello?
Oh, damn, this is going to be frustrating. All right. Okay. So, Kyra says, I am going through premenopausal symptoms now. Okay. Sorry, everyone. It's going to be one of those days. So, as painful it is, we're going to just stay with it because I know that there's going to be lots of gems shared. So, I appreciate the patience level. So, TN says, my grandmother stressed not to use those chemical hormones during menopause. I can imagine. I can imagine. Um, Okay. Desiree says, I'm almost 40 years old and I'm finding that I sweat a lot at night before I get my menses. Does this mean I am getting close to my menopause cycle? I would possibly think so because I know that the sweats are definitely something associated with menopause. But this is a question I will put to Auntie J when she does return to the studio. Okay, so Margaret Reed says, really wanting to learn about herbs to use for vaginal wall thinning, painful sex, and hormonal balance. So, once again, Margaret, great question. And that is a question I'll put through to Auntie J when she comes back. If it gets lost in the whole wave of questions coming through, please do repost it and I will put that through. Also, if Jafunza is available, if you do have any natural solutions for this one in terms of the vaginal wall thinning, painful sex, hormonal imbalance, and in regards to natural remedies for the sweats, please do let us know as well. Okay. Kukua says, I had my third child at 41 and I feel like she reset my body. At 50, my cycle is still normal. And I'm wondering if that's even normal. That's very interesting. I guess it depends whether it kind of runs in your family line. So whether your mum found that she started menopause late, um, that would be an indicator. But I think it can happen. I think my mum said hers happened around that time. So I need to double check, but I believe so. Once again, Auntie J, when she comes back, I'll put that question forward. It's a good one. Okay. Miss Pretty Bree says, I want to learn more about how to prepare for premenopause stage. What should I be doing now to care for my body in preparation for menopause? Really good question. So once again, I will be putting all these questions through once Auntie J returns. Anki says, I am postmenopausal and my intuition and dreams have become so much more powerful. Indeed. Now, this is something I intuitively know happens to women once they get over a certain age and happens. And as I said, for me personally, I believe it happens even from childbirth stage, for once you actually give birth to a child, something changes then that kind of opens up intuition. And definitely post that. It's a question I even asked Auntie J when we had our initial conversation about this on the call, and she mentioned that, yeah, definitely it's like a whole new world. So that I really want to get into. I feel like there's a lot of power in that, in terms of the aging process as women and how much more intuitive we become and more in tune with our own internal gifts as well. It would be wonderful to create a group for women to share in a safe environment what we are going through. So this is another thing. Auntie J says she does actually have a WhatsApp group where she has the exact same thing going on, where women are there sharing their experiences, and it's a space, a safe space where you can share and exchange information, and she will give information about that when she returns on the call, because that's something she's already running. And she said on the back of today's call, she's more than happy to set up a group based on the audience today and any questions they may have, and just as a sort of community environment where people can learn, share, and grow together and not feel isolated. Because this subject is not really highlighted that much, there's a lot of us kind of going through certain experiences and feeling alone. So a group where you can share your experiences and know that you're not alone and other women are experiencing the same things or similar things, then you realize that this is a kind of shared experience that we can all learn and grow together. So thank you, Kyra. I will bring that up. Charlie Marie says, how do fibroids affect premenopausal symptoms and menopause? Very good question. Yeah, I've never even thought about that, but I'm sure that will have an impact. So definitely, I will put that through. So there's a lot of great questions, by the way, and I will be putting them through. I would have thought Auntie J be back by now, so I'm just going to check my phone. But these are some fantastic questions. Okay. No. Okay. To do it through Zoom. Unfortunately, if I because we've got StreamYard now with everybody on the live, I don't know if Zoom would be any different. So, and if we have it on Zoom, we'd have to shut down this and transfer everyone over. It may still be an issue, actually. It may still be a solution, I guess, if she can't rejoin. I'll have to think about that. That I have Zoom, so we can do that. If we'll give her like another few minutes, and that might be an alternative. Okay, so Julia Yearwood says, at 52, I am postmenopausal. I would like to know more about managing postmenopausal health issues, please. Okay, so Jafunza says, sorry for the delay. She's also having issues with the Wi Fi. So she will be able to give a lot more advice in terms of the herbal solutions to your questions. Seems like Aunty J is trying to come back.
I'm here.
Yay! Now, where did we get?
Gone. Gone.
No, I'm just saying, where did we get to before you cut out now?
I was talking about the we get like rites of passage, and we get to menopause after puberty, and that is another transition. Now, same with puberty, because birth. Okay, let's go back again. Birth and taking on a body. Yes, that is a rite of passage. Yes, you're passing from one realm to another. And that spiritual
It's such a shame. Auntie J, Cynthia says, I find it interesting that Auntie J mentioned elders. I joined a walking group of older women which started my regulation along with estrogen. Interesting. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about this. See, oh, there's a solution that I have to Auntie J, which I think what we might have to do if it's the internet, if she actually comes in without her camera and just the audio only, that may solve the problem because it takes up less bandwidth. So let's see if she can come back to the studio, and I'll put that suggestion through to her. Yeah, thank you, Miss Pretty. We did stop at menopause initiation, so that's where we will definitely take off from, so we can try and get into that, because we'll get into the crux, get into the good part, and then it cut out, and it's like, ah. So in terms of Margaret Reed, Auntie J's WhatsApp group, she'll be able to confirm that when she comes on. As I said, she has an existing one this currently runs, but she said she will set up a new one for this. Obviously, this one is an open platform, so it will be a different one for this based off the show and the interview questions that have come up. Okay. TM says, my moon cycle was so terrible that I welcomed menopause. Perhaps if Auntie J turned off her camera. Indeed, that's what I was just suggesting. So I will put that to her. Wow. So if it was that bad that you actually wanted menopause, that's interesting. I'm sure there are many people in the comments that can put forward natural solutions for menopause. Sorry, for painful periods or irregular periods. One that I'm aware of is drinking hibiscus tea. So if you boil a few hibiscus leaves, boil it for about 20 minutes or so until it turns red, and then you can drink about 2 cups a day, but that can help with the cycle to make it regular if you're experiencing irregular periods, and it can also assist with any cramps. So if you have cramping sensations, it is known to ease the cramps. But if anyone else has other suggestions for that, please do drop them in the chat and I'll put them on screen. Okay. Okay. Cynthia Stacy says, I'm driving. My naturopath suggested 3 servings of Virus vegetables daily along with movement. Okay. And is that for, so what was that in regards to? For healing what aspect? I'm just trying to see your previous comment. Is that to aid menopause? It's the symptoms that you're going through? Ah, yes. So Tea Lee says red raspberry leaf tea. I've heard about that one too. Has been great for me in perimenopausal. All right, okay. So you're already taking it as a sort of preemptive measure then. So how is it benefiting you? Is it helping to regulate your periods? Is it easing any cramps if you're experiencing cramps so far? If you can share that, that'd be also really helpful. Okay, so Jafunza says hot flushes may not necessarily be menopause symptoms. A hormone imbalance can infect us at any age, largely due to endocrine disruptors, chemicals that mimic or interfere with the endocrine system. All right, so when you say chemicals that mimics, were you talking about when we take certain hormonal impacting medicines such as like birth control pills and stuff? Do you mean things like that can also impact it, which I'm assuming it obviously would? um but that is interesting. If you can just let us elaborate on that as well. So it's good to know that hot flushes are not necessarily about just menopause, it can be other things. So if you can also let us know what things we can do as symptoms to heal those symptoms, that will also be great too. Thank you. Yeah, well, that's what I said. Secret so cold is I will ask her to turn off her camera when she joins. Yeah, because it's definitely eating up too much of her internet connection, which is not working. So thank you, soul to soul. We appreciate the donation. Thank you for holding this space. Indeed, it is weird. I feel like I'm just talking to like the screen, looking at myself. But indeed, thank you so much. We appreciate any donations. If anyone wants to donate, we do have the link pinned at the top. I'll also drop it again if anyone can't see. But give thanks and much gratitude for that. But I'm more than happy to hold space. Welcome back, Aunty J. Can you hear me? Oh no. I can't control it.
Hi.
Hi, Auntie J. Can you turn off your camera, please, and just leave on your mic?
Can you hear me? Because you're breaking up.
I can, but can you turn off your camera? There should be an
Can you hear
option.
me properly? Because you're breaking up, V.
I can.
You're
Check the comment.
very slow. How do I know if people can hear me? Can everybody
Check
hear
the
me? Can
comments.
somebody put a message in the bottom? Let us know. Yeah, you're getting better.
And the thing is, it doesn't allow me to turn off her camera. She has to do that herself. Oh, this is so frustrating. I can turn off my own camera, but not hers. Oh, give thank you, Katina. Much gratitude. Thank you so much. Um, oh man, I can't believe we've lost Auntie Chicken. Okay, so Jafunza says also filter your tap water or use reverse osmosis or distilled water purification system. Choose fragrance free face creams, eco friendly cleaning products, and laundry detergents. Yeah, give thanks for that one. Definitely. I must say, with this house, we're very much on using natural products. So, I mean, we use shea butter to cream our skin. So we avoid chemicals. The soaps as well, same. We use a shea butter black soap, which has a lot of essential oils, natural essential oils in there. And we also filter our water. So this is really good advice. Thank you very much for sharing that. So all of these things help us from adding these additional chemicals to our body that can throw out our hormone imbalance, that can cause additional symptoms that like the sweats for so forth, which have are not necessarily menopause related because we've just altered our own natural body systems, which can result in that. So thank you so much for sharing that. Um, yeah, so music power indeed. I'm trying to get her to turn off her camera, but she couldn't even hear me talking. What I'll do is when she comes, I'll just put the message on the screen. Ooh. So Margaret Reed has a good question. Is joint pain associated with menopause? That's interesting. That's a good one. So, Jafunza, if you are available or anyone else listening at the moment, if you are free, that would be great to let us know about that. And Margaret Reed also says she found that fasting helps. So that's good. So, have you found that it's fasting that's helped you with? Is it menstrual cramps or is it menopausal symptoms such as hot flashes? If you can let us know, that'd be really wonderful. Thank you. All right, so I'm just waiting for Aunty J to come back. So at this point, if anyone has any questions, comments, or anything you want to say, it is a bit of a weird one. Normally, our technical issues don't go on as long as this. Normally, we at least get a bit more information. Okay, here we go. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear
Wow.
me?
Yes, please. Can you turn off your camera but before we start, please? You should be able to have just the audio and just turn off your camera.
But I like to be seen, and I like people to see me,
I
and I
know, but
like people like
I
to be seen.
think we're likely to last a lot longer if you do it this way.
Okay, let's see how we go. All right.
Yay.
What
So
I
you
was what
you got to
gone.
menopause initiation. You went through the stages and then you got to
Right, so,
menopause
and then I
initiation.
came back, and I came back to birth.
And then you came
Birth,
back to birth.
birth is when you come from the spirit world and you enter the physical realm. And hence why you're given a name to represent your journey. You are given time to deal with the family that you've come to, your immediate family,
Mhm.
and then you are celebrated and introduced to your clan. Yes?
Yes?
This new spirit that's come. As the spirit goes forward on its journey, yeah, because you get a lot of blessings, you get a lot of all sorts of things. And then you have gone through a certain amount of life on this dimension, and then you realize, or the village realizes, that now this spirit is about to take on a new phase of its journey, and it needs the guidance and the advice of those that have been here already, yeah, and have gone through certain parts of this journey already, to impart their knowledge on this spirit so that it grows and it goes in the direction of its purpose for being here. And then you go through another phase of your life. So you go through another series of events, and then you reach another pinnacle, which is menopause. And you change again because through puberty, your body, your spirit, your mind does a transformation so that you're ready to take on the experiences from puberty to menopause. It's your child rearing years, it's your marriage years, it's the time that you make relationships with people, and you get guided in the way that you're supposed to be in order for those relationships to work. Then you go through menopause, which is another transition. It's another metamorphosis. You're changing again, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But that's where we get to where we are now. But that one, because your child rearing years and your adult years are no longer going to be a part of your life, that change is different physically, mentally, and emotionally, as well as spiritually. It's like a continuous spirit that is running through you from birth, through puberty, through menopause, to death. At the end of the day, menopause is one of the biggest things. Males go through a change as well. Let me not let's get that clear, right? But for women, yeah, because the feminine energy is that spiritual energy that runs through things. For women, the menopause, you could say it's more serious. Yeah, maybe I've used the wrong word, but I hope you get what I mean. Um, at the end of the day, I'm going to take it from a woman's perspective.
Auntie J, you still there?
Episodes as power surges because they feel exactly being plugged into an electrical source.
Continue, Auntie J. I thought the audio only was working. Oh man, this is gonna be properly just wow. Fasting definitely helps with premenopause difficulty. All right, give thanks, Cynthia. That's great advice. Thank you. So not sure what's happened with Auntie J. But we'll just keep going through the comments and things until she returns. Jafunza says, for joint pain, eat quality fats found in avocado, coconuts, olives, nuts and seeds, seaweed, squashes, berries, mangoes, green leafy veg with have anti-inflammatory properties. So that was somebody who was asking whether joint pain is associated with part of the beginning process of menopause. Also, an active natural lifestyle. We are largely sedentary. Sedentary, yeah, indeed we are. All right. So Ilana says, thank you, Jafunza, for these suggestions. Indeed, thank you, Jafunza. We appreciate your insight, your input in terms of the nutritional and, herbal medicines and things that we can find natural solutions for these issues. Now, I actually thought the audio only would sort out Auntie J's problems, but it still seems like it's an issue. So, someone did mention transferring over to a Zoom call. I guess that might be an option. I do have Zoom, but if internet is the problem, then I don't think the platform would necessarily make a difference. It's just the internet. So, ay, 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 ay. Jeez, I'm being tested today. Wow, I feel like a newsreader who has to continue reading the news when the whole studio is just going crazy and all madness is happening. But anyway, please keep it flowing. Keep putting your questions through. Um, I do plan to put them all through to Auntie J, and we've also got Jafunza on hand in the comments, who is giving wonderful, wonderful advice on natural solutions for some of these symptoms we may be experiencing. Oh, Ilana says, you're doing a great job. Thank you. I feel like I am just waffling to the air. But always with Auntie J. Indeed, Auntie J has some great insight when she's actually able to talk. So hopefully we can get her back, because she hasn't even managed to scrape the surface in terms of the information that we had in our call prior to this interview. And I really want to get deeper into this conversation, because there's a lot we just generally don't know, and to the extent that it can impact us, and a lot of things that we look at in relationships or we may deem as mental health issues, we don't know if it's generally because we have this spirit of menopause and we're just going through this cycle of change within ourselves that is making us appear erratic to everybody else, but we don't understand the levels that it can actually impact us. And so, as I said in my brief call with Auntie J, I was like, wow, it's that deep. I mean, I'm not there yet. I'm on my way. And I would say I'm probably a bit more sensitive. Like I can get, I guess, triggered by certain things that shouldn't really bother me, but they do. I have seen women who are in menopause stage, and you can see sometimes they may appear what you would call like a bit frantic, like they get bothered by simple things. Um, but you can see that if someone is got dealing with all these emotions that are kind of running rampant within their bodies, um, and usually you would put it under their emotional issues that you need to heal and blah blah blah, but then this can be expanded and emphasized when you are going through that menopause cycle. And so this is even something Auntie J touched on, is that during this period of our lives when we do go through these transformational changes, it's like it does bring up a wave of all of this stuff. If you haven't processed it from childhood and teenage years and all those other stages, it will become very pronounced then. Auntie J is back. Can you hear me? You can't hear me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, I'll just continue. Um, can you hear me well?
Yes.
Right, can you hear me better now? Can you hear me?
It's on the screen. Yes, I can hear
I can
you.
hear you. I
I
can
can
hear you.
hear you. I'm just leaving the floor with you. It's on the screen. I can hear. It's all good.
Okay, I'll continue.
Oh, God. Oh, wow. All right, we may have to do this another day. This is such a shame. Wow. Okay, I'm really being tested on my patience levels today. I need to breathe this one out. This is interesting. So Jafunza says, Cynthia Stacy, yes, cruciferous vegetables such as cabbage and broccoli can support detoxification. Our digestive system slows down, so we need to eat to live and keep our system flowing. Give thanks. We really appreciate all the information you're giving us, Jafunza. And as I said, if you do want to join the studio, please let me know if your connection issues are resolved, and I'll drop that link in the chat because it'll be amazing to put through some of these questions to you. Auntie J.
Yes, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, long time. I can hear you.
Yes.
Please
Okay.
continue.
Um, okay. So what I was saying was because we haven't got those systems in place no more. Okay, a lot of us didn't have that entry ritual rites of passage when we came. Yeah, we also didn't have that initiation process when we got to the end of our childhood and beginning of our adolescence. Okay, so a lot of us through childhood, through birth to adolescence, went through certain, stuff that was never being explained. We've never had the elders to help us through it, and we've never had all of that. Okay, puberty. Okay, so we've carried all that trauma through puberty. We still didn't get that initiation process where we where everything was explained to us as to what we're going through. So we've held on to the stuff from childhood, gone through puberty now. A lot of other things are happening to us spiritually. Nothing's been explained. We go through puberty, drugs, drink, rape, pregnancies, all kinds of things. No explanation. Marriages, relationships, all sorts of things, no explanation, no guidance, nothing at all. We now get to menopause. Yes. And what we've got to understand is the cycle. It's a with you. You understand? So by the time you get to menopause, yeah, if you haven't, the only way I can put it is if you haven't sorted out all those things, because it's a change from that part of your life to the older years, the latter years of your life, your most spiritual years for women, yeah, it can be quite traumatic, yeah. And I say that from a position of going through it, yeah. And also in talking to a lot of other women that have gone through it, they haven't even realized that they've gone through it. If we go back to our parents, my age group's parents and stuff that went through it, they had no notion, yeah, that they were going through menopause. I, for one, have always said my mother went through a period of her life where she was actually schizophrenic. Yeah. I say that not meaning that she was actually mentally disturbed, but the behavior in that time, yeah, because of the emotional trauma and all the trauma she had from before, yeah, came to a culmination in those 3 years. I'll break it down a bit more. In those 3 years of the menopausal climax, and she could have killed one of us. Well, I was one as well. With a lot of women, I have a beautiful group of women, and we range from the age of 20, and we have every single generation in that to 70. And we, when we talk, all these things come up, even about our parents. All these things come up. It's not me, just me, that had parents that in that time, when we look back, yeah, that our parents were going through some madness. And when we're at the age now to look back and see what that time was, because now we're going through it and stuff, and we can get it. They were in their climax years of their menopause. Yeah. And at the end of the day, they had no idea. The other thing that happens at that time in women's lives is a lot of women in their late 40s, 50s, their marriages end and their partnerships end. The thing that is said is if you're in a long-term relationship of over 14 years, yes, in that time of your life for a woman, it is actually best for you to have up to a 5-year break so that you can go through this transition, yes, and all that takes part in this transition, yeah, in peace. Because one of the main things that echoes through a lot of women in that time is they need time for themselves. It's a very confusing time. Emotions are running, yeah. You know, all right, you get all the symptoms of, you get your mood swings, but the symptoms are not consistent through the whole of that time. They come and they go, right? I'm going to say this and then I need to backtrack. You go through your mood swings, you go through your hot sweats, you go through your night sweats, you go through your vaginal dryness, you go through confusion, you go through memory loss, you go through bouts of anger, yeah, you go through so much stuff, climax time. Premenopause starts um, at about, for some it's 35. Most women I'm noticing it's their early 40s, the onset. And premenopause, the reason why it's called premenopause is because it is supposed to be a time that you ready yourself for the climax years. So you start to make time for yourself, yeah, in your daily routines, yeah. You start to eat better because when you get to climax and post, certain foods that you used to eat before, you don't want them anymore. You just don't want them anymore. Some women consciously see that. I didn't consciously see it. I just stopped buying certain things. And then when we started to talk more, I realized, like, okay, yeah, my body has rejected certain things. What's this? Hot flushes, check, and crush about 6 fresh sage leaves. Oh, Jafonza.
Yeah, don't worry, keep talking. I'm just putting the
Right?
information on the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So, you know, there's things that your body doesn't want. There are things like Jafunza's saying, there's herbs, because one of the main things for not postmenopause is preparation time. Postmenopause, any woman that's going through the postmenopausal thing, you're going to get hot flushes. It's making your body realize what's coming. It's not to say that you're actually menopausing. You start the climax years because it's 3 phases. Pre, phase 1 of the initiation, climax, phase 2 of the initiation, and post. And post menopause will continue out through your rest of your life. Yes? Pre is to get you ready. Yes? You're supposed to start preparing, making time for yourself, changing your diet, making sure you're dealing with calcium because your bones get affected, your blood sugar levels get affected, and all these other things. Jafunza, give us more information on that side too. Um, your blood sugar gets affected. Those are the 2 main things I would say, and hormones. Yeah. Because of the lack of, I think it's estrogen and estrogen and all of that, but um, it throws it upside down. So premenopause is your preparation years. That is the time for you to start making time for yourself, understanding what's going on with your body, understanding that it's going to get worse. And then the menopause climax years starts cycle. So the time your cycle stops forever, not the time that you are like it's trickling or you have it 1 month and then you don't have it another month. When it stops completely, no more. Right? That is the first month or whatever of your climax years. And that will go through, it's about 2 years, because from the first month of your climax years, 14 full moons after that, you post menopause. Yeah? 14 full moons from your last from your last menses, 14 full moons along the line, you're in post-menopause. Now, to say that you're in post-menopause, it doesn't mean that it's all over, right? And it depends on how traumatic it is, and it's a major time of releasing. Believe me, yeah. Um, you're releasing everything, all the trauma, everything that you haven't released before, because you're gonna turn. I have to say that you're turning into who you are supposed to be. Yeah. If you haven't got anywhere near that before, and it's not anything you can control. That's that's the thing about menopause that is quite annoying. It is a energy that's coming through your body, through your psyche, through your everything, and you can't control it. And if you fight it, you make it worse. Yeah. Um,
Mhm.
if you fight it, because it's happening, whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. Tend to go for younger men, and that's up to you, but you're going to go post. Yeah, that is why it's very important to take time out for yourself. And it's not even important, your body craves it. If there's any other women out there, Jafunza's there, Rosanna, if you're there, um, Cheryl, if you're there, Tina, if you're there, all these women that I know, we've spoken and have spoken about, you know, what we've gone through. Yeah, it is quite horrendous way, but the energy, that energy, but it's strong for those. Some people suppress it. I'm not even gonna lie. Some people suppress it, and it's post-menopause that things you actually start a serious, deep um, healing process that you should have been looking into from post-menopause. Yeah, because you go through everything, you go through it all. You're gonna go through it all, but at the end of the day, you might not be doing the healing that is necessary because it is a change. The emotional, patience, and short tempered. You can go through all of that. You're going to go through all of that. But if you don't find out the deeper meanings of why this is happening, where does it come from? Does it come from right now? Does it come from your teenage? Does it come from your childhood? Does it come from, if you don't work that out in that time, and you'll be having difficulties in your life. This is that because it's at the time of your life now where you've sorted yourself out and you come into your own. I hear people talk about it all the time, your authentic self. Yeah? Post-menopause is when you reach there. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's for. You understand? It's for your 60s, no children, no stress, no pressure on who you are, what you are, how you're trying to fit into the world. Should be. But if you haven't sorted all that out yet, you can do it post-menopause because that change it's in you, whether you like it or not. It's there. You can't get rid of it. You can't run away from it. Hi,
Auntie
Tina.
J.
Um,
Auntie J. Can you hear me? Oh no. Can you hear me?
okay. Yeah, no. Um, at the end of the day, not to ball you out, as Amanda says, Tina is one of the women that we're dealing with this together, and there's been so much realizations going on, so much things that we thought we'd sorted, do you understand, in all this healing, but no, the menopause takes you, and because of the society we're in, and because we've not had the guidance, and because we've not had nations, anything, yeah, the realization of, when you get together and you start to do, yes, I can't hear you.
I was gonna say you just cut up in that last statement there. Can you hear me? Oh, we were doing so well. All right. So when Auntie J comes back, what I'm going to do is put through some of your questions because I really want her to be able to address some of these points. And there's been some really good questions in the chat. But hopefully you found what we have been able to get from her so far interesting and, insightful along your own path. I'm seeing some great dialogue in the comments. Thank you so much to Jafunza for sharing your insight into natural solutions that people can implement no matter which stage of their personal cycle they're in, whether it's premenopause menopause itself or post menopause, and just looking into the different things we can do to aid ourselves, including health, sleep, healthy foods, and the correct nutrition to aid those problems. Can you hear me? No, I don't think you can. You look stiff. Oh man, oh man, oh man. What is going on today?
Yes, I can.
Oh, you can. Yay. Good. So, Auntie
Can you hear
J,
me?
um, I can. What I wanted to do is we've had a whole bunch of
Can you
questions
hear me?
coming in from the beginning. Yes, but can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can. All right. So, can you hear me? Silence. Music Power says, thank you, Ancestral Voices and Auntie Rita. I really appreciate and enjoy this talk. I give thanks. I'm so sorry it's frustrating and not this nice, really smooth conversation where we can get all the information at once. But it is what it is. Um, yeah, I think there is a delay on both sides. Even I keep getting the internet dipping on my side too, which is quite unusual. I don't normally have that problem, but I don't know what's going on today. But there's some good insight coming through, so hopefully we can just get it out. What I will do though is definitely put forward your questions because I really want those questions to be addressed because there's so much, um, questions that many of us can relate to or experience, and other people have experienced. So if we can address those, that would be phenomenal. Managed to make it. Thank you, Rose Briggs. Thank you, Ancestral Voices, for bringing Auntie J on. You're welcome. Rose, we've been kind of in the conversation, but it's been cutting out a lot. So hopefully you're coming to bring us some good vibes and we'll just have smooth sailing connection as we go forward. But there has been some insightful information shared from Auntie J herself, and some wonderful comments from the audience themselves. Give out shout out particularly to Jafunza, who shared a great range of natural healing solutions. Auntie J,
Yeah,
wonderful. So I was saying is that there's a whole bunch of questions that I really, really want to address from the audience.
go for it.
Wonderful, cool. So we'll just knock out as many as we can because I just want to. Okay, then where can I start? Oh God, there's so many. Sorry, I am coming. Okay. 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 So I believe Jafunza answered this one already, but
Can I
Desmond
say,
said,
while V's looking for questions, if people can hear me,
we
yeah,
can hear you.
it
We can
is
hear you.
very, very, very important now for us as women to get together and help each other through this. This is a female thing. This is about women. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
This is about us as women.
Can you hear us though? Can you hear me? This is a lot. Okay. Wow. Okay, so Auntie Jay, I don't know if you can hear me at this point or not, but I know you said you're going to set up a WhatsApp group for today's call. So I think it's really important to share that information because there's a lot of people who are interested, who are looking for that community circle, that kind of women's circle to share such information. So please do, if you can hear me and when you return, drop that information. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so Jafunza says calcium plant sources include nuts such as almond milk, butter, seeds, sesame, tahini, green veg, callaloo, dandelion, nettle, turnip, greens, watercress. And in terms of beans, chickpeas, black beans, wheatgrass, and barley grass. So give thanks for that. Okay. I'm just keeping that on the screen a bit longer till I go to my next comment. Anyone who wants to take note, but also you can come back and watch the replay as well. So all of Jafunza's comments with, herbal and natural solutions I put on the screen. So feel free to watch the replay to take any notes and write that down. Serena Serenity says, yes, I would love such a women's group. Welcome back, Aunty J.
Hi. Yeah,
Hello.
no, I don't know if I was saying and somebody sort of answered, I think, but I missed that. Um, well, I missed what Jafunza just said. Um, we do need to get together as women in this time for this sort of thing. No, we really do. But if we get together, um, it's not just to sit down and take notes, and it's not just to sit down and listen to each other. It's to sit down and connect. Yeah, we um, we need to connect. This is much better when we connect with ourselves as women. Yeah, this whole process, you know, when we start to introduce things how it was, a women's community, things like this become easier. The healing process becomes easier. There has to be trust, there has to be honesty, and there has to be no judgment. Yeah. And the reason why there has to be these things, especially no judgment, is because when you start talking as women together, you might start off shy and sit there and listen to everybody's stories. But and that has happened, you know. Um, we hear each other's stories, and others sit there and they realize that whoever's talking is actually mirroring them. Yes, might not be the exact same experience, like environment for that experience. Sorry, but the experience itself is the same. Um, I did a group with some women about 2 3 weeks ago, and by the end of that meeting, it was established. It took a bit of people talking and listening and feeling well, um, which it does. It's good. Every single one of us, I think there was about 7 or 8 of us, had all experienced the same things in our life. All. Yeah. I've been saying for a long time, we go through things in life and we keep it like secrets. We hold on to it like, you know, thinking that, oh, this one's going to judge you, or that one's going to judge you, or this one's going to think this about you, and this one's going to think that about you. We need to let all that go. Because nobody, not one of us, living in the societies that we're living in and having the generational trauma that we have gone through, yeah, not one of us as women
Margaret Reed says, I've been looking, yearning for a women's group to connect with about the whole journey from womanhood, from the first period to post menopause. So, indeed, it sounds like something that's definitely needed, and that a lot of people have been kind of suffering in silence on their own dealing with this. I believe, Katina, I think Auntie J mentioned that you're already part of the group. If you can share a bit more on how supporting each other makes the process easier, that would be really good too for all those people who are speaking about having a newly established group, for all of those on the call today and who can benefit on such support. Um, let's see, I really wanted to get into answering some of these questions, but it seems like we have such short intervals of clarity. It's so hard. So this may be a case of having to do this interview again, or I take the questions from Auntie J, I'll put them to her, and I can do like a video where I record her responses or something and upload a separate video or something. I'll find a solution, because this internet situation is just literally crazy today. But she did say because of it, the rain season there over the moment in the Gambia, it's making the internet just very unreliable. And, there's nothing we can do to fix that except, yeah, some people are saying try and Zoom. Dee's saying we can do part two live on Zoom. I guess. I just don't know if it will make a difference though, because it's still internet, but maybe it will be clearer. I'm not sure. Cairo says Telegram is a great app. I hope she creates it, the women's group on Telegram. I don't know if Auntie J actually uses Telegram. I know she's very much on WhatsApp. That's kind of the platform she uses. So I don't know whether she would consider a Telegram option. Okay, so Katina, who's currently in the group already, says it's good to be really heard and not judged. Even a small book club that focuses on uncommon issues would help. No one needs to suffer alone. Indeed, indeed, and that's the thing. I think that all right. So Katina's saying that we do use Zoom with Auntie J and it works better. Great. So then that is a potential solution then for me to just do this whole thing on Zoom. I can even touch base with her now actually to see whether that's something we can arrange. And then I can put this link here and then all right, we'll see. Because that definitely is if she uses that and it's working for her, then that would be the best option. All right, sorry, people. I'm just sending her a message just to see if that works. If anyone else has any questions or anything they want to put through while we're in the interim waiting, then please do go ahead. Also, once again, shout out to Jafunza. We appreciate all the information you've been putting forward into the chat. It is much appreciated. You've been able to provide many solutions for many questions, so we give thanks for that. Okay, Rose T. Smith says Auntie J is correct. Understanding you're not alone helps. Transparency with no judgment is important. Indeed. I mean, there's so many things that we go through as women when we go through all these changes in our bodies, all the cycles of things that we experience. And often we are made to kind of go through it alone and sometimes even feeling bad to speak up about what we're experiencing and not sharing. So having that open space where you do feel safe to share, knowing that you're not alone and everything that you've been kind of carrying independently, you realize that other women are going through the same, so that will help to release the load and obviously be able to benefit from the shared advice. And that's why this conversation today is so important, because we're talking on an area that most people don't really get into, particularly dealing with it from the spiritual aspect, as well as including all the sort of changes that you can potentially go through. Obviously, every woman is different. Some women go through the menopause stage and it's like nothing has changed. They feel normal. Whereas there's many women who do go through it and they feel like the rug's been pulled beneath their feet. Suddenly they become extremely emotional, or mood swings, all these things we've experienced or discussed so far. Things, bodily changes such as sweats, weight gain, weight loss, all of these kind of things can happen. So it is definitely a conversation that needs to be had. Okay, this is what I needed today. This level of connection with women. Oh, give thanks, Serena, Serenity. It is nice to have this kind of conversation. I just feel that I wanted to get so much deeper, and this is where the Zoom thing will probably be of benefit to us, to have more of a clear conversation where it's uninterrupted and we can just flow, because there's so much that needs to be said. And I just feel like as soon as we get into it, it gets shut down. So we will work on that. Jafunza says, yes, trust, honesty, and no judgment. We also have to be conscious about what information we share. Very much so indeed. Sometimes we share the worst, which can cause the younger sisters to expect the worst. We need to come together and share knowledge to heal and support each other. Indeed, that's so true. And that's why I mentioned the point that not everybody does get these really crazy symptoms. Some people do, some people don't. And as you correctly said as well, it all depends on within your own family bloodline. So, your mother's experience, your grandmother's experience, those things, it can be impacted by some of the emotional issues that you faced in your life, or whether you haven't faced them, which can mean that by the time you get to menopausal stage, they're literally, all these emotions are just blowing up in your face and you're like, why is it happening now? And then, as you also mentioned, there's the aspects of whether we're eating a certain way, some of the products that we're using on our skin, all of these things can impact us hormonally. Auntie J,
Yeah.
now I understand that your lessons that you run are on Zoom. Can you send me a Zoom link so we can just continue this conversation on Zoom? Because everyone's saying that it works better there, that you had no problems there. And it's even cut out before I can even finish asking the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Wow. Alrighty. Okay, this may just have to be another show because I'm mindful that we started at 2, so we've already gone on for a really long time. Um, so yeah, we may have to do this again on Zoom. I don't normally do interviews on Zoom, but I think this one we're just gonna have to make it work. Because there's just too much to be said that's been unsaid, and but I appreciate everyone's patience. Well done. Saturday afternoon, everyone's just here and staying with us, even with this funky connection. All right. So Amina says, any advice on acute insomnia? I was looking into this the other day. What did I think it was chamomile tea. They recommend chamomile tea. It's like a mild sedative. That's how it works. So if you drink a cup of chamomile tea before going to bed, that is one thing that is recommended. But if anyone has any other solutions as well, please do drop them in the chat and I'll put them on screen. Okay, Miss Pretty B says it's so challenging to find elders that honor these transition as sacred and can recognize slash articulate the spiritual standings as well. This space is needed. Indeed. This is one of the things that has really interested me on this kind of African spiritual journey of mine, is learning about all of these things that we have been largely separated from. And so it's not just like menopause, but just all sorts. Like if we go back to child rearing practices, birthing, protocols for childbirth and things like, there's many things that are done, like herbal preparations, and not lying down in a bed and squatting and things like that. Like these are all things that we should know, but we've been largely separated from. Rites of passage, sex, how sex is perceived from an African spiritual perspective. So these are all conversations that I do hope to have moving forward. Another interest of mine is mental health from an African spiritual perspective. We do actually have a short video on that on our website, but I would definitely love to get deeper and get more insight into that. So it's so necessary. It's funny to me when people just lump all African spiritual practices as something negative and evil and all this kind of stuff that we've been, conditioned with from years. And then we're just denying all this wealth of information that we've largely been detached from. We don't know how we should be raising our children. We don't know traditional forms of discipline and ways that nurture the spirit of a child from birth. We don't know all of these things because we don't know natural ways to heal ourselves. And this is the information we need to know. This is vital. But then we would go study other people's spiritual traditions and be like, oh my God, that's fascinating. Wow. We have all of this. So this is what this platform is for, is to kind of bring out this information and really start to utilize it for our own benefit, for our own health, for our own spiritual growth, for our own healing as individuals and a wider community, and to just balance out this energy on this planet right now, because a lot of what is happening is because we largely don't know who we are. And if you don't know who you are, you can be manipulated, you can be oppressed, and all of these kind of things. So we're very much for using information as a tool of liberation. So let me see what else. Healthy social connections during the day and evening can help induce feel good hormones that can then improve sleep. Indeed, fresh air, deep breathing, good foods, all of these things. Naturally tiring yourself out in the day as well. So some gentle exercise or something will always help. Katina says for insomnia, try not watching TV or computer/phone screens too late at night. Meditate or pray before going to bed to clear your mind. Give thanks. Thank you. Amina Tefi Class says, thank you, sisters. I've tried many hinge will try this information. Oh, tried many things will try this. Yeah. Yeah. Synovia says, Amina, go for an intense walk instead of walking. Think of it as marching. Stay focused. Do not talk on your cell phone, and you can carry water to take little sips. You will sleep. Yeah, so give thanks for all of the advice being shared. Jafunsa also adds um, essential oils such as lavender and geranium, a few drops in a diffuser or oil burner in the evening. Being on our devices before bed or while asleep can result in being wired and poor sleep. Indeed. Auntie J, hi. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It's not working. Do you want? All right. Oh God, she's already gone. Didn't even get to send her the message. Wow, this is intense, man. Okay. So Kyra says, thank you everyone for sharing their knowledge and wisdom. Beautiful. Give thanks everyone into the audience and thank you for being so responsive and helpful with your comments and obviously being very patient as well today. Indeed. Thank you. Beautiful vibes. So, what I'm going to do, family, is I'm going to wait for Auntie J to come back. But I'm thinking that what would be best is to do a Zoom because it's really great to have the live interaction. If there is a problem why we can't do Zoom and there's an internet problem, as I said, I can put some of these questions that have come through today to Auntie J and get her to speak on camera with her responses, and I can put together a video which I can upload to our YouTube channel, which everyone can watch again at a later date, because it's just such a shame. It's just such a powerful topic, and it's really one that we should be able to kind of get into and flow. I will also update this video with her group details once she gives it to me, which is a WhatsApp group. So I know she already has an existing space, but I think because they've already established a kind of a personal um, relationship, I don't know if that will be something she wants to share widely, but she said she will happily create a new group for everyone who is joining today, where a space where you can share, ask questions, and be part of a community of like minds, and to have a safe space where you can share your experiences and not feel alone. It's just such a shame because I feel like this is so powerful and we should be here just flowing with the gems of wisdom, and it keeps getting interrupted. But as many of people have said in the comments and even myself, is we know when we're dealing with certain topics that are very powerful and ones that can really facilitate change, we notice that the technical issues go beyond and crazy. And I personally feel that as women, once we truly come in touch with our power, our true essence, to understand what we are capable of and all the changes that are going on within us, and to accept these natural cycles of our lives and to work with them at no matter what stage of that cycle that we're in. That can be very powerful for us as individuals, but also on a collective as well. So I'm hoping that we can get Auntie J back. But if anyone does have any questions, please let me know. Also, Jafunza as well. If you are also open to coming into the studio, let us know, and I'll drop that share link in the chat with you as well. Because it'd be great for you to share your wisdom with us, if you want to join us. Yeah, so we have an email address. I'll just put it on the screen. I'll drop that to you in a second. Hi, Auntie J.
Hi, do you have this? Where's the Zoom link?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying, because I believe you have a Zoom thing already that you
The
do.
Zoom link.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I
I
think.
heard you what you said about Zoom.
Oh, you
If you
did
give me
hear.
the link, I'll go into the Zoom.
I don't know if my Zoom can take everyone. There's
Give me the
restrictions with
password.
Zoom, but I don't even know. I barely use Zoom. This is my platform, StreamYard. But what I'm thinking of, because we're already hitting the 2 hour mark, I'm wondering, is this something that we do on another day? Because boy, I don't know if I can continue now for another couple of hours, or equally everyone's here. We could try
You're
a thing.
speaking.
So,
You're breaking up. I can't get the sentence.
oh no. What's your battery power like? Ah, this connection. Can you hear me? All right, sorry, family. I just have to send Auntie J a message on my phone. If her battery power is okay, then I'll set up a Zoom link and we'll just do it now. Well done for everyone and their patience, because we're almost 2 hours into this and we're talking about moving on to a whole nother platform. But I do feel that the conversation does need to be continued, and I just don't think we've done it justice considering how powerful a subject that this is. So, bear with me. Probably easier for me to call, so I'm just going to mute myself for 2 secs. All right, so bear with me, family. I don't know. My call is not even going through to her. So I just don't think today is going to happen, even though we have been extremely persistent. I think we've done well, 2 hours in, but I don't know why she doesn't seem to be getting my message. Um, oh, okay. So Serenity says, this is so informative. We don't mind waiting. Give thanks. Thank you. All right. So thank you for your patience. Anyone who is still interested in waiting, I will persist. I believe it was Kyra who said, what is our email address? I'm just going to put that on the screen. So yeah, here it is. Oh, she did try to call me. Oh, no, that's me. Okay. All right. Sorry, family. I'm just going to mute myself. All right, family. Wow, we're taking persistence to a whole nother level today. So I've just spoken to Auntie J. She obviously has an um, an account with Zoom, a paid account, which means that we can have a large amount of people on and record. So what she's going to do is set up a Zoom chat or Zoom call, whatever, and she'll send me the link. I'll put the link in the chat and then everyone can then migrate over. And then I'll close this stream down and then we're going to continue the conversation in Zoom. I must say, this is a first. This is going to be like a 4 hour call today. Jeez. But, I do feel that it's necessary. All right. So Jafunza's saying, I've tried to access the link, but no joy. It seems I can only enter without a mic or camera. I'm not sure if my Wi-Fi is intermittent today. I think Zoom will be best. Yeah, definitely. So Auntie J says she's going to do the Zoom. So we are going to pursue with that. Also, Jafunza, are you using your mobile phone or a computer? Because normally if I'm using a computer, it just, once you log in, it will ask you for your name. You type it and then it says enter studio and you're in. But either way, we will be migrating to Zoom. So I'm just looking out for Auntie J's message. She will be sending it shortly. And so whenever I send it, I'll put it in the chat. Give a few minutes for everybody to jump over, and then I'll close this down. Wow, I can't believe this is the longest. Actually, every time, if I have a long show, I can always guarantee it's an Auntie J show. I think the longest we've done is about 3 hours. To be honest, okay, so Marcia says, I don't know how to use Zoom. To be fair, I am not a Zoom expert either. That's why I was like, it's best if Auntie J does it. But literally, once you click on the link, it is just a case of you joining the call. So it shouldn't be any big thing to figure out. So we'll see. And if you do have any problems, I will keep open this stream for a while as well, so everyone can have a nice smooth transition over, and then everyone can kind of help in the comments as well. All right. So Serena Serenity says, thank you for the flexibility, Verona. Indeed, I just feel like it needs to be done, so we'll do it. Jafunza says, perseverance is a must. For real. I feel like as women, we go through so much anyway that just dealing with this call should be the least of our worries. So, yes, we'll do it. Kyra Bar says you add the meeting ID number and then add the passcode. So yes, so in my experience with Zoom is sometimes you have a link that takes you straight in, or sometimes you are asked to add the meeting ID and then the passcode. So either way, we'll work through this together and support each other along the process. So I'm just checking to see. Ooh, it's here. All right, so bear with me, family. I'm going to put it into the chat in a second. Wow, today is just, wow, a different kind of vibe altogether, boy. We're going all out today. All right, bear with me. I'm just sending it to my email so I can forward it over. Okay. All right, so when I've done this, it's taken me straight in. So I'm going to send it in. So realistically, this one, if you use this link, I'm not being asked to add any passcode or anything. If you are asked for a passcode, I can send that in. Yeah, so well done, Kyra. You will need to download the app on your phone. So indeed, if you don't already have Zoom installed on your computer or mobile phone, whatever device you're using, you will need the app. Yeah, so TN says if you don't have Zoom, you'll have to install it. Margaret Reed says, "Spirit knows we need this, but negative forces are sure causing a disruption. For real, this actually is the most intense one we've ever had in terms of the disruption level." Okay, Auntie J says she's already waiting in Zoom, so I'm gonna get in there, and I'm just gonna give some time for everyone to make that transition process. Wow, thanks everyone. Like this is some. Oh gosh, now I can't even get in. Why is it not working? Oh, I swear, I need to just chill out today, man. I need to go to bed or something. Okay, I'm pressing launch meeting, but where is it? I have way too many windows open on my computer as well. Okay, so I've put the link in, everybody. How are you doing? I'm just waiting for someone to let me in. I need the meeting ID. Okay, cool. So let me send you all that. Oh, Shiloh. All right, family. So I'm going to send the entire details list, which would include all the information you need to know, including all the different numbers and the locations and all of that stuff. I find sometimes when you just use the top link, it works. It's asking for an invite. What's the passcode? Okay, so I'm coming with all the info now. Okay, so everybody check the comments for the latest. Oh, it's had to break up the email because it's quite a lot. So anyone watching on YouTube, it seems to come out with multiple entries. Okay, so let me see if I can get in. See, that's interesting. It's not letting me in actually. It says your meeting has been launched, but I can't seem to get in. Wow, this is serious. If anyone has been successfully, oh, okay. Yay, they click the link. People are getting in. Okay. Hi, Auntie J. Hello. Oh, hiya. Yeah, I'm clicking on it. It says your meeting has been launched, but nothing is coming up for me for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, are you entering the passcode?
It didn't actually ask me for one. Oh, it's actually telling me to leave meeting, but I'm not here. I can't see anything. Yeah. All right, I'll quit and come back. All right, thank you. Bye. Yeah, I will do. All right, thank you. All right, bye. Oh, okay. Then it was saying, okay, something is actually happening for me now. Why do I need to sign in? I've never had to sign in before. Wow. Okay, family. So it's telling me that I need to sign in to join. So I've had to, which normally doesn't happen for me. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay, I'm there. I'm just waiting to be let in. How is everybody else doing? Oh wow.
B, are you there?
I'm in. I'm in. But
Yay.
great. But I just need to check everybody else on the main. Yay. Okay, we got 21 people. All right, great. I'm just gonna go and deal with the live. Oh my god, I can't. Okay, this is a lot. Sorry, family, because now, okay, I need to mute my thing. God.
Everyone will have to put themselves on mute.
Yeah.
I think everybody has. Hi, Lana.
I need to leave. All right. So I've been able to successfully get into the Zoom call. I didn't need to enter any passcode or anything either. I'm going to put it into the chat again for all those. I can see 21 people have successfully managed to join. So I'm putting the link back here for everyone to continue the call. Well done for everyone who's in. Add yourself in for the passcode. Yeah, it managed to work. I was able to get in without using the passcode. So I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to do that transition. I've just put the link in again for anyone who needs to. But what I would recommend is if you just use the very top link, and I'll post that as a separate link, it actually just works. Well, for me, it did. The only thing it did ask me to do was sign in, and I just used one of my Google Chrome accounts, and then it let me in that way. So you can also just try this if that is easier. Whoa, sorry. Thank you, Verena. You're much appreciated. Thank you. I'm like, today I just feel like, whoo, it's been intense. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go offline for a sec while I give everybody a chance to try and get in. We have still 50 people on the line, which means that there's probably still 50 people or so waiting to get in on the Zoom. The last time I checked the Zoom was about 21 people. I had to log out because I couldn't mute the Zoom noise. And obviously I'm dealing with 2 calls at once, which is crazy. I'm going to jump into the Zoom call once I get as many people transferred over as possible. So I'm just going to stop my camera, but I'm still here. Bear with me. I just need to sort something out and then I'll be back. And I'm going to give this a few more minutes before I shut this live down, and we'll be migrating our whole conversation to Zoom where we will continue on. Thank you, everyone. See you in a minute. I'm so sorry, guys. The call's gone on longer. Okay, so TN says, I can't get it. It's asking for a sign in. Please remember to call the Zoom for those who know we've got. All right, so what's happening is I was also asked for a sign in, and I just used one of my Google Chrome accounts to log in. And then once I did that, I got straight in. So if you do already have a Google account, it's probably best just to use that. What's the passcode? The passcode is actually listed there. I'll send it again. Okay, so Rose Smith says, what's the passcode? I've just put the details in the chat. Okay. So I'm just going to leave that on the screen for a while, just so everyone can have a look if they do need to get in. I'm going to give it a few more minutes and then I'm going to jump into the other space. So once I'm in Zoom, I will have to close this down. Otherwise, I'll get the conflict of the two noise at the same time. Nar Lamley says, I'm 53, had menopause at 17. Wow, 17? Pills given and told no children, and walked out of his office, living every symptom left me far from my best life, out of self-imposed isolation now here. Okay, so now you definitely will be able to benefit from the conversation. Have you seen that we are now moving over to Zoom? So please do jump into the Zoom conversation so you don't miss out. So please let me know if you can see the links that I've put in the chat. I'm going to put them all again. Okay, I'm going to put everything in the chat for you to have a read, because there we're going to continue the conversation for possibly another hour or so, if not longer, and you can get some insight onto that. Okay, so I can see the numbers going down. I'm hoping this means that people are now successfully joining the Zoom and getting in. For those who haven't been able to successfully move over, I'm going to ask them to record the conversation. I think we can possibly upload it. And obviously, for anyone who missed out here, it's not fair, but hopefully I can get that done. Wow. This is definitely a turn up for the book. So I've never ever experienced a show like this where midway through the show we're literally stopping. Oh no. TN says, I give up, I will watch the recording. Thanks. I'm so sorry, TN. So what happened? What, did it not work to sign in with a Google account? Do you not have a Google account already? I think it also gave the option to log in with a Facebook account. Do you have any of those? Because as I said, once I did that, it worked for me. But normally, because I already have Zoom on my my computer anyway, it normally doesn't ask me to do that, but today it did. So if you don't, personally, no problem at all. I will speak to Aunty J about having the conversation recorded so then we can upload it for anyone who potentially will miss out. Cool. So as I was saying, I have genuinely never had a show like this today. Today's been a weird one, but we've managed to stick it out for a long time. What I'm going to do is shut down this live, give thanks for everyone who supported, donated, given advice, come with a conversation. We truly appreciate it. Everything you do is much appreciated. Also, want to give a shout out to Amani Nasor. I noticed that you donated via PayPal. We give thanks. We appreciate all your support. And yeah, family, I'm so sorry that I'm going to have to shut this live down, but hopefully enough people have been able to migrate to Zoom and I will see you there. So either way, I will try and get this uploaded, the conversation that's now going to follow uploaded, so we can all benefit from the wisdom being shared. Woo! What a day. And it's not even finished. So give thanks, everyone. I'll speak to you soon. Much love until next time. And I look forward to having more guests, more conversation, and more positive vibrations. Take care. Bye.